Lesson 13.10 is graphing hyperbolas from conic form. This is our last type of conic. It is a hyperbola, which means that it's going to curve either, it's going to open left and right, so that is all one graph, or it's going to open up and down like that. And the way you're going to know the difference is if the x is being squared first, then it's going to open left and right. Think about x values go left and right. If the y comes first, it's going to open up and down, like y's go up and down. So this one's going to go with this. And the difference between a hyperbola conic equation and the ellipses is this has a minus sign, whereas the ellipses were always plus. So sometimes x goes first, sometimes y goes first. But again, these will always equal 1. So our first job is to plot the center. That would be at -4, 6. And then we're going to plot the vertices. And that would be the vertices are the points where our curves are actually touching. So they're not going to be the ones here and here. So it's always going to come from this first denominator. You want to square root that. So you would square root 16, and that would be 4. So you'll get 4 units to the left and to the right of your center. 1, 2, 3, 4, put you here. 1, 2, 3, 4 would put you here. Okay, then your co-vertices are going to come from the shorter length here, the 9. I shouldn't necessarily say shorter. These don't matter on this one, which one's bigger or smaller, but it's going to come from the second denominator. And so I'll say square root of 9 is 3. So you go up 3 and down 3. Okay, then you're going to draw a box you'll use because we'll have some asymptotes. And so your box is just going to be connecting or crossing through your vertices and your co-vertices. On Delta Math, you'll just click and drag, but it should contain all 4 points here that we just made. Then you're going to draw the asymptotes. The asymptotes are going to be diagonal lines that cut through corner to corner of your box you drew, and it's got to cross through the center. So here and here. Remember, asymptotes are lines that your graph should never actually touch. Now we're ready to draw the hyperbola. Once you've done all this work, it's really easy. We said it's going to open left to right. And so it's going to hover along the asymptote here, touch at the vertex, and then hover along the other asymptote. And then the other one's going to hover, touch, hover. And so the only graph part is actually these curves. It just requires all these imaginary lines to create those curves. Let's try another one. This one doesn't look like the same form because this is not over 1, but it is. So the center here, make sure you're still going x and then y. That would be -4, -8. Let's be all the way down here. And then the vertices this time, because y is coming first, the vertices we're going to open up and down. So the vertices are going to be here and here, where the parabola or the curves actually touch. And so that'll go with the 1. We want to square root 1, which is 1. So we're going to go 1 unit above and below our center. The co-vertices are going to come from the square root of 4, which is 2. That means we're going to go left and right 2. And so it makes this plus sign. Draw the box, so you'll just make a box that connects or goes through all of those vertices and co-vertices. The asymptotes are the diagonal lines that cut corner to corner and go through the center. So all this stuff is like our imaginary boundaries, and then it'll create the hyperbola for you, which will be the curve here touching, or not touching, hovering along the asymptote, touching the vertice, hovering along the asymptote. Same thing down here. And that is hyperbolas for you.